Today's been probably one of the worst days of Street Fighter V I've had in like a year. Probably since I started, to be honest. I'm upset, I'm angry, and I feel like I'm just wasting my time. But in the pursuit of documenting my like fighting game journey, that's what this whole channel is about. I think days like this are important to talk about. And sometimes these videos end up being kind of cringe whenever I look back on them, like I'm complaining about not being good at a video game, and other times it's good to just vent. Like I just need a forum to talk about it, and I feel like here is a good place to do it because a lot of you guys understand it. Like I don't have to explain myself. You guys play these games, you know what it's like to try and get good at them, and you know what it's like to get frustrated playing them. Essentially the biggest problem I'm having is like I can't really tell if I even want to play the game anymore. Like I know I want to get good, but I feel like I'm using it as a medium for something else. Like I'm using it as a medium to compete or something. Like I'm not playing the game because I like it anymore. I'm kind of trying to chase that feeling that I used to have where I actually like just playing the game. And for me, sometimes the best way to solve these kind of problems is by just talking to my computer and making a video out of it, and by the end of it I'll kind of understand what the issue is. So that's what we're gonna do today. One of the biggest things I feel like I've realized so far is that I'm getting kind of bored of the characters that I'm playing, and that's a problem because I don't actually know them completely. Like I'm getting bored of characters that I haven't fully studied yet. And I think that's because I understand them on a very fundamental level, and I understand them on a very surface level. Like I know how to do their combos, and I know how to hit confirm into certain things, but I don't really know like how their offense works. I don't really know how offense works in general. That's something I'm trying to work on, but it's a very like kind of abstract thing. Like, oh, I'm supposed to press here, I'm supposed to do a block string here, I'm supposed to throw here. It's kind of hard to wrap my head around. I've been playing a very reactionary game. I've been trying to adapt to my opponent, but sometimes that doesn't work because they're just doing random things, and it's hard to control when you can actually just maul them. You can just maul them with your normals or whatever tools your character has and win. It's not the most optimal way to play the game all the time, but against certain people it is. But I've started to confuse offense with just mashing. Like I'll just I'll just walk up to somebody, mash stand light kick 3 times, and then get hit and get angry about it, and it doesn't really make any sense. I'm getting angry about my own actions, and I'm getting angry that they have consequences. I also think in my head that I feel like I'm better than I actually am. Like I'm not actually that good. I'm not digging deep enough into the game and to my character to really warrant being better than some of the people that I'm playing against that I think I should be beating. And that's very hard for me to accept. Yeah, it's like an ego thing, right? Also like a sunk cost fallacy thing. Like I feel like I've played the game so much that I should be better than I am. And I'm very upset that I've come to the realization that I'm not. I played the game for 2 years now and over 1,000 hours, probably 1,500 hours at this point across all the accounts. And I feel like I'm not very good. Like I'm not where I'd like to be at this point. I feel like before I had like a vision of where I wanted to be as a player, and now it's kind of warped because I'm not comprehending things as fast. Like things are more obscure, and like I feel like I'm plateauing and then getting off the plateau and then plateauing again, and it's a very vicious cycle. The things that I need to improve on aren't as apparent as they used to be, and they're not as easy to implement. It's more like, oh, if your opponent does this, you need to do this, and if they don't, you do this. It's very situational, I guess you could say, and it's hard to implement. And like there's just so much shit that people can do, and like random shit people do that I feel like I should be beating. Like I should be beating them, but I'm not. Like I'm not reacting. I'm just slowly losing. I'm slowly losing the things I know how to beat. And then there's just so much stuff going on in my head. Like if he walks forward, what button's he gonna press? What button do I stick out? I need to be looking for movement because he's going to randomly fucking dash at me or jump at me, so I need to be ready to react to that. It's just a big ball of mess in my fucking head that I need to clear up. Like before, I feel like I'm getting worse. That's the most frustrating part, is I feel like I'm getting worse because I'm learning things, but I'm not implementing them, and I'm getting confused and forgetting the things that I learned previously. And instead of building on my game plan, I just scrap it completely and then do whatever is new, like the new thing that I learned. For example, my old game plan that I used a lot and worked for me a lot was in neutral, I'm just looking for approach options. I'm just looking for movement, and I'm looking for approach options, and I'm checking all of them. And that works. But when I learned about like looking at the opponent and seeing what button they're going to press when they walk forward, I kind of just forgot about looking at their movement. I kind of just looked at whatever button was coming out, and instead of building on the game plan, I just replaced it with a different piece. And so now I feel like I need to recall a little bit to what I was doing before and then add all the new stuff in instead of like replacing it all the time. That's probably the solution. At this point, the game is not, my improvement is not contingent on things like execution, nothing tangible. It's all mental based. It's all based on things going on in my head, and it's a goddamn mess. But from here, I'm either going to straighten up and get better and figure it out, or I'm going to continue to get worse and get frustrated, and I'd rather get better than be angry all the fucking time. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the end, let me know in the comments. I'll leave a little heart on it. And if you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. Thanks so much.